What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to another NCL video. Today, people, we have an extremely exciting project for you guys, something that me and Chris are both extremely excited for, like I just said. This is for our NCL viewers that are part of the league, but also those from outside if they want to see it. But yeah, guys, NCL Season 2, NCL, my coaches, I'm so glad to have you, and I'm glad that you guys are tuning in to our NCL Power Rankings, end of season Power Rankings. These are the powerful Power Rankings, and I think me and Chris did some good job for you. We had some cool gimmick power ratings in it, and we have a cool gimmick for you guys as well today that we will talk to. But of course, like I just said multiple times, I have Chris with me. It's gonna be me and Chris doing these power rankings. But say hi, Chris.
What is up, NCL Season 2 coaches, viewers, everyone? Yeah.
Yeah, we're all here. We here. Me and Chris.
Everyone is here.
Power rankings. So as you can see on your screen, you're seeing a blank screen right now because we are going to go ladder up for you guys, and we're gonna go from power rank 12 to power rank number 1, so you guys can get excited seeing where you place. Where do you think you'll place? Where do you think you'll end up, and how do you think you'll end? Yeah, you can type it in the comments where you think you'll end up. But at number 12, starting off, drum roll. At number 12, it's probably no surprise. I don't mean to say that meanly, but at number 12, starting off, kicking off this episode, we have Steph, coach of the Madison Square Gardevoir. So just heading straight into this, Steph had an extremely dismal season as of right now. The power rankings coming up, he's 0-10, minus 48. We don't know if he'll hit that impressive negative 50, but we'll see. This year we saw a lot of lack of knowledge of knowing when to either set up or get your mons that need to do damage in. A big part of Pokemon is pivoting and making sure the mons that you need to win the game stay healthy, stay alive, and have the opportunity set up. If you need a mon chipped down because your win con cannot beat that mon, you need to make sure to chip it down. You need to force your opponent into swapping that thing in and taking damage, whatever kind of damage that is, any little bit you need. So that's what we saw Steph struggle with. Go ahead, Chris.
We've seen a lot of the same sets being brought pretty much every week. Just a lot of same sets, a lot of predictability with that. Some of the leads were pretty good, but some of the leads were kind of questionable. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, the funny thing is with predictability, like Chris said, Steph was very predictable in his sets and what he was bringing, but he was also unpredictable with his leads and things like that, where he kind of just led whatever. It was never the same lead every week. It was always something different.
Sometimes it'd be good, sometimes it'd be bad for him.
Yeah. The good thing I will say, his kill leader is Mega Gardevoir with 3 kills on the season. It went 3-9, minus 6, but I will say that I actually enjoyed seeing Steph use it. And one mon that didn't do extremely well, but I was really excited to watch him use it, was actually Suicune. I think Suicune fit right into Steph's hand and his playstyle. He played it very well. Whether the builds were questionable or not, he still used Suicune to his advantage a lot of the year. There's not a whole lot to say about him, just because of how dismal the year was, but I will say his consistency and staying with it and trying every week, and his wanting to do better is something that I really value and I do really good, or really value and really appreciate from him. Big things that I'm gonna go over too is what mons I think you could build around next season. Mons like Suicune and Mega Gardevoir, Steph, I think you're really well. I kind of want you to stay away from the psychic typing a little. I want to see you venture out, because whether it's Mega Metacam, Mega Gardevoir, Mew, Latios, these kind of mons, Slowbro. I want you to stay away from it a little bit. I'm not saying you can't drive psychic types. I know you love your psychic types, and it's good to use some of your favorite mons, as we can see with Mega Gardevoir is his favorite Mega, or his favorite mon in general. And he used it decently this year. I'm not going to say he used it wrong, but I want to see you venture out a little bit. I want you to go, and I want you to pick a top tier mon. I want you to pick either the first or second. And I don't want it to be fairy, and I don't want it to be psychic, because I think you're struggling finding your niche with those mons. You do need a good fairy, and psychics can give or take in a team, whether you need them or not. but I think you do need to draft a fairy, but maybe not necessarily a very offensive fairy like you like to draft, because I've also seen you draft Mega Mawile, and you actually did really decent with Mega Mawile, so I'm not going to say that. But Steph, what I like to see from you is you're really, really good at your bulky offense. I really enjoy your bulky offense. That's something I enjoy too, and you used it really well. Your glass cannons you seem to struggle a little bit with, just because they cannot take the hits that you want to swap them into. Because you're struggling figuring out what you should pivot or what you should swap into. You're struggling when to make reads and when not to make reads. So that's the biggest thing for you. I think you should draft a very bulky offensive mon. Maybe draft something out of your comfort zone. We could see Zygarde, Komodo, Mega Scizor, something like that. I enjoyed using regular Scizor this year. I would really enjoy seeing you use Mega Scizor next year. We have some really cool new mons that might be joining us next season. A little bit of spoiler alert for you guys there. It's not all completed, but if you see a bigger name mon, maybe go ahead and grab that. But yeah, if you could do me a favor, Steph, I just want to test it out. I mean, I'm sorry for saying this, but you can't go any lower. You know what I mean? So test your limits. Yeah, and get with someone to draft plan before you draft, so you're not stuck with drafting mons that you like or being really busy and then forgetting about the draft. I've done it too before. But I want you to get with somebody and have a help draft planning. Find mons that you want to use, mons that you want to venture out with, and go out of your comfort zone a little bit, because I think you need to evolve with that. And giving yourself good pivot mons, good bulky pivot mons like Mega Scizor, I think could really help you, because I really enjoy your mega offense, but I enjoy your bulky offense and strategies. Like I said, so big thing with you, bulk. Just to sum up that whole little spiel I just did. Bulky offense, get out of comfort zone, stay away from pink typings. And cons for your season, there's a lot of them to go over, but there's a really just big definite one is pivoting and getting your mons in at the right time. It just seemed lacking. Your team as it wasn't great at pivoting, and I think that aided to it, because you wanted to run Scizor offensively. You didn't want to run Incineroar pivot every week, things like that. So I understand it. I 100% do. So the team didn't really fit around that. But next season, I want you to draft bulky offense again, but I want you to draft good pivots around it, just so you can make that weakness into a strength and feed your strength with that weakness. So yeah, definitely Steph. It's probably not the best season, not what you were looking for, but I do want to say thank you for joining us for NCL Season 2, and I hope to see you next season. And we are going to start out our gimmick a little bit, and I'll let Chris announce this one for us.
Alrighty, the gimmick of this power ranking is, which monkey are you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We have Resident Monkey Man telling us which monkey. And Chris, and I am also, if you guys didn't know, I'm studying to be a zoologist. I work with animals at a exotic zoo right now as an internship, and I go to a lot of classes. I have been my whole life. So Chris is going to announce the monkey. He's going to show you the face when on the screen. It's going to pop up for you, and we're going to have the coach logo or something with that. We haven't really done the editing yet, but something cool will be there. You'll see the monkey, and then you'll see something else
but
with
I
it.
forgot who is whose monkey. So
well, starting out with Steph, we're going to have this monkey, Chris. I will type it to you.
Oh, please.
You can have it. Steph is this.
We're pulling up. We're pulling up with the card. I am opening the envelope as we speak.
Right there.
I'm pulling out the card, and it says you are the Proboscis Monkey, and you can see right now it is up on the screen. Look at that lovely
fat
thing.
nausea, bro.
Look at it. It is such a beautiful monkey.
Okay, guys, so giving you a little bit of background, you guys are going to get some animal facts today. So the Proboscis monkey is a really unique monkey, as you can see with its large schnauzer up front there, that allows it to really identify food and stuff like that. But I relate this with Steph, because the Proboscis monkey is a very, very, very loyal animal. It is very, stubborn, and likes to, it keeps on with stuff, and it won't give up until it figures things out. It is very stubborn that way, and I relate that a lot to Steph. And while the Proboscis monkey might not be good, really nice to look at, kind of like Steph's season, you see where they're going there? It's not really super nice to look at. It's got a lot of great qualities that if you give it a little training and a little time and a little love, can see something blossom there. So yeah, that's what you are, Steph. We're going with the Proboscis monkey. So yeah, Hog O. So coming back, we have coming up to number 11. So we're back to our regular screen here, and yeah. So I'm gonna go through a couple more names, and we'll take a break and see if you think where you think you are. But this next coach has had not an amazing season either. But coming in at 11, we have our resident boy Smith, coach of the South Side Snorlaxatives. So this team we see an extremely hyper offense team, extremely hyper offense. But I think there are a lot of positives that come in with it. The negatives, the big thing with negatives, I actually have a lot to relate with Steph. Your pivoting was terrible this year. Your pivoting felt like it just never happened right. You never pressed the right pivot move at the right time. You sometimes press the right offensive moves and you hit things really hard, but it felt like you always left something on the table to give, whether or not that be Hawlucha, whether or not that be Tapu Lele. There were so many times where I felt like you built Tapu Lele right and the building was there. All the building was there, even if you changed it a few times coming into the games. But it just felt like there was some play left on the table. That can be a little bit of experience, but I think that is something going into NCL Season 3 that there is something you can work on there just by battling. It's literally just by battling and figuring out situations and going, oh, this does that, and oh, I do this much damage. And I think it was just, I don't think Smith realized how hard Tapu Lele hits. There were times where he just like was scared to go into his Tapu Lele, it felt like. And this mod hits like a truck. Don't be scared to send this thing out. It has also got good natural bulk, and it can take 1 or 2 hits. So don't be afraid to send this thing out. Don't be afraid to play offensive, especially with this such hyper offense team, and you don't have a lot of things that can take those hit, kind of like Tapu Lele can. You can go into it and do stuff. It does have quite a bit of weaknesses in that aspect, but it can usually take at least 1 even of a super effective hit, unless it's something like a freaking Melmetal pressing heavy double iron bash or something like that. That's the only thing you're not really swapping into. But yeah, so big thing with that, Tapu Lele, you used Hydreigon extremely well. It went even in this season, but for a 2-8 team, going even with a Pokemon is not terrible. It had 8 kills, which I don't think is nothing to sneeze at. 8 kills is pretty decent for a 11 game league. It was 8-8, but we saw Hydreigon just put in a lot of work for you. So we see that kind of mid-speed, heavy hitting Mons really, really going to your advantage. And it seems with Hydreigon, you always seem to press the right move, which I thought was ironic because I would say that would kind of be like the motto of your season is not pressing the right move sometimes, or not having the right move. But Hydreigon was really cool, and like that one Mon just seemed, when it was on the field, it seemed to suit you. It seemed like you wanted to press the right move, you had the right build. It was cool. So I really enjoyed using Hydreigon. So what the biggest thing I have for this season, you're coming out 11, is just because of this abysmal pivoting. I'm sorry, Smith, but you got to work on your pivot. Like for such a hyper offense team, you had 3 good pivot Mons. And that was it. So it just wasn't in your best pivot Mons being Mega Beedrill and Tornti, and then Hydreigon like is pivot because you can run Scarf U-turn or Specs U-turn or something like that. But Tapu Lele doesn't pivot. Registeel can't pivot. Miltank can't pivot. Araquanid can't pivot. Lando I know Lando T gets U-turn. I think Lando I gets U-turn. I didn't see it a lot because you wanted to run Rock Polish.
Araquanid get flip turn or U-turn?
Araquanid gets flip turn now, and then it's an okay, but Araquanid kind of sucks. We're just gonna be honest. You had Mons that could pivot, but you never put those pivot moves on, if that makes sense. So like Lando I never had a U-turn on it. I can't even remember if Lando I gets U-turn. I think it does, but I never saw U-turn Lando I. It was more Rock Polish setup kind of stuff, which is okay. I understand you're playing hyper offense, but it just felt like you never chip things down enough for Hawlucha. Hawlucha, all you need is like, if everybody's at 75% on the field, Hawlucha's the happiest it can be. Because it can come in, set up on something that has to swap or can't do anything to it, and then the rest of the team's dead. It's got enough chip where it can press acro, close combat, or whatever like third move it needs. Big thing I could say there is just like, Hawlucha felt like it left a lot on the table. I don't think you necessarily played terrible with it. I think it goes to the fact that your pivoting and your weakening of Mons didn't go well. So what I want to see you draft next season, Smith, is you tried bulky offense, you tried hyper offense. What I want to see you go is a little bit more balanced. I want to see a balanced team with your playstyle because I feel like you're a very, very balanced playstyle. So I want to see some designated walls and I want to see some hard hitters. Big thing I would say for you drafting is draft a fast, hard hitting Mon. That doesn't necessarily need setup. That's what I want from you. I think you did really well with Hydreigon, and I think you did better than it looks with Tapu Lele. And those Mons don't necessarily need setup. Mega Beedrill doesn't need setup either, but it's a lot of times you want to put Swords Dance on so you can just come in and clap something. Maybe pick something that's like Hydreigon. Pick Komodo, kind of like I said with Steph. Zygarde is kind of the same things I said with Steph, but Zygarde would be really cool for you. That is a little bit more setup dependent to hit hard, so maybe not necessarily Zygarde, but that does fit in bulky offense. But things that just hit really hard. Gengar, that's one that I think you would enjoy that hits very, very hard just right off the bat, and you can throw a Scarf or Specs on. It doesn't necessarily take hits, but Nidoqueen I feel like could actually be something you might be interested in because it is a Mon that takes hits and hits really hard back. Swampert, things like that. Just these neutral Mons, I feel like you would have a lot of success with. There's one heavy Mon that I'm thinking of that he would be able to use well. It's a mid-speed Mon. Like I guess like Rillaboom. Rillaboom would be in there. I think maybe you could try a Rillaboom team. There's one really good Mon. What's coming to my head is Lando T, which I also think you would be really interested in. Lando T is a really cool Mon. But yeah, basically what I'm just saying is draft a hard-hitting Mon and kind of see where that goes. One that doesn't necessarily need setup, that you can chip Mons down, that you could possibly bring other things around it to finish up or sweep. So yeah, that's about what I have on this. Do you have anything you want to say about Smith's season, Chris? I know like you faced him, you 4-0'd him in week 6, so it was a while ago. So yeah, go ahead.
A minute ago, but I remember when we all were drafting, and I think he already had Tapu Lele, and then he drafted Hawlucha, and then I was like, okay, and then James was like, Terrain Hawlucha? That's like hella scary. And I was just like, oh no, please, no. I didn't know what that meant, but then he explained it, and it gets like the seeds or whatever, and it breaks, and it gets like a shit ton of speed, and it just hits hard. And I was like, well, I think Smith is going to be pretty top tier, but sadly, it didn't.
Yeah. And then kind of going off of what Chris is saying is like I think it goes down to like it trickles down with like Mega Beedrill. He didn't press U-turn enough in the season. Mm-hmm. He didn't press you just when you get Mega Beedrill in, you kind of just either press U-turn or you press an attacking move or you press setup. That's the 3 things you do. And it just does either massive damage, it scares the fuck out of you, or it pivots out and still does massive damage because of adaptability. But it just felt like Tornti he also used really well, which I wanted to point out as well, which is another one of those balanced Mons that doesn't necessarily need setup to be good. You do have Nasty Plot, but Nasty Plot's not even like a super, super common set. It's good for sure. Oh, it doesn't have Nasty Plot this year. LMAO, so never mind. But yeah, it's just like he needed to weaken things for Hawlucha. Happen. It was more of Hydreigon having to carry the load. But yeah, that's about it. But you have the monkey for this one, Chris, or do you need the card to be written in again?
We have nobody's monkey, so.
Oh, well.
All right. Once again, we got the envelope right here. It's a pack of Trident. We're opening it. Oh, we got a card inside.
I spelled that wrong.
Right. We have a new card. All right, hold on. We gotta get a new envelope. All right, we're opening it. Right, there's a piece of gum in here, and the card it's saying, Smith, the monkey you are is, drumroll please, the Marmoset Monkey.
Yeah, the Marmoset. So Marmosets are some really, really cool monkeys. They're very I would say they're probably like the most average monkeys. Like it's not the average monkey that you would just think about. They're really cute, they're really stuffed, they're really balanced. That's what I want to say. Name of the game, balanced. But they're pretty average monkeys. They're small, they're cute, they're good to look at, but put in a dangerous situation, any monkey could be dangerous. But I really think because it's just an average monkey and it's just cool to look at. It's just a cool monkey to think and look at. So that's the monkey that I would like to have for you, Smith, because it's very like it's just a bland season. And while Marmosets are cool monkeys, they're can be considered kind of bland with like colors and stuff. They're mostly just modeled
like
gray.
It was drafted cool, but
yeah, it's cool to look at first, but if you spend more time with it, it's just like it can be a little bit more bland. While Marmosets are really cool monkeys, I think they're very balanced when it comes to the monkey world. They got a lot of funny ape in them, and then they've got a lot of like chimp in them as well. So it's just kind of that mixed balance that I want to say. So yeah, that's the kind of monkey you are, and I hope you like it, Smith. So the Marmoset, it's a really cool mon. You guys should go look up some facts about these monkeys and put it in the comments below if you have any cool monkey facts as well. If like your monkey that you like or something. Hashtag save the monkey. Even though most of the monkeys that we're saying, yeah, are not endangered, but some of them were at one time. So yeah, hashtag save the monkeys. And moving on, drum roll please, as we go back to our main screen here. Cool one. Grrr, at number 10, coming in at number 10 is our one, our only Aaron Pizza, coach of the Hell Summoned Clefable. And I will say Aaron's season was a lot like mine. He's compared a lot to me because he changed his entire team like twice. So that's exactly what I do. I am very indecisive when it comes to team, and it takes me a little bit to figure things out. But for Aaron, that is exactly it. It took him a lot to figure out just getting comfortable. And then the big thing I want to say, everybody's going to say, is Mega Gyarados. He used this mod amazingly. We just saw this setup, which I think is really, really funny because Mega Gyarados and Zygarde 50% are very, very relatable. They're both extremely bulky, and they both need setup to start doing things. Like D-Dance Zygarde and D-Dance Mega Gyara. Mega Gyara is a little bit better at setting up, in my opinion, than Zygarde is, but Zygarde has high-powered moves, just like Gyarados, and it is extremely versatile Pokemon.
Even the coil on Zygarde as well.
Like, yeah, there's different setup options for Zygarde, which I thought was interesting because I think he really struggled to use Zygarde this season. I know he wanted to, but I will point out, though, Mega Gyarados and Zygarde differ a lot when it comes to using because Mega Gyarados is a lot easier to use than Zygarde. Zygarde can be a little bit tricky just because of his move pool and things that you can do with him. Don't get me wrong, he's a top tier Pokemon, but when it comes to like move pool and for newer players, he doesn't have that like as much that he can do. Whereas Mega Gyarados is straightforward. You put 2 stab, a coverage move, and D-Dance, and you just set up, and you either stay regular or you Mega Evolve, whichever one gives you a better ability to set up. So yeah, there's that
problem with Aaron at some points was when the Mega Evolve the Gyarados.
Yes, and I think that was a problem when he first got it, but then he figured it out. So I think he figured it out late season. There was a couple times where it was like I would have stayed regular there, but it's just basically preference and what he wants to do and how his Gyarados is built. But I agree with Chris. The only bad thing I could say about his Gyarados is when he was setting up with it. But I mean, it worked. He got 10 kills at the end of the season with Mega Gyarados, which this is amazing. He was 10-3 plus 7, so that's nothing to sneeze at all. That was actually he only had 2 positive differentials, and of course one was Gyarados and the other was Rotom Frost at 2 and 1 plus 1. But Mega Gyarados being
Frost come to
3, it came to 3. So but coming to 5 games and being 10-3 is an amazing task, and I shout out to Aaron for that. Big props to him. The big thing also I want to show is like he had a hard time building with his bulk. He had a really hard time building with his bulk and doing this kind of stuff. And funnily enough, too, he had a really hard time with Spec Chair. I think that he just couldn't because he enjoyed. We're seeing this trend with newer players. What do newer players love, Chris? They love their mons that can take a hit, set up, and sweep. right? That's what we're seeing. We're seeing that those mid-speed mons that like to set up, get faster, hit harder, and have enough bulk to where they can take 1 or 2 hits and still sweep afterwards. That they don't have to like position them correctly, or they don't have to extremely weaken the opponent's team. Because if you get to +3 on Gyarados, +3/+3, it's just basically over no matter what things are at. So I'm seeing a lot of this. This is a trend that we're seeing here in the lower ladder. He struggled with using Cresselia. He struggled using Spectrier. I think he used Heatran a lot better than the record shows. I enjoyed his using of Heatran rather. I think that with Heatran, it was a little bit of losing in the team builder. I don't think he had like certain moves for games that he maybe should have thought of or maybe should have had. But that's all opinionated. That's, of course, just so you guys know, I'm going to go on a little rant of opinions right now. This is all subject to my and Chris's opinions. These ranks might not be your ranks. These ranks might not be what you think, or what I'm saying about the Pokemon might not be what you think. But this is what me and Chris think, so that's what we're bringing you.
Personal rankings.
Yep. Funnily enough, I think he used Comfey really well too, which is another one of those mons that kind of just are really niche, which is kind of funny. But you always do see that in the coach every once in a while of just one weird mon that they're comfortable using. And in this case, it was like that weird Comfey. Another mon that didn't do extremely well, but I think he used well, was Muckalola, Alolan Muck. I think he used that really well. It didn't have maybe the output of that we wanted to see, but I think it did well with weakening things for Gyarados, taking hits enough and then dishing enough damage back out for Gyarados to come in and potentially sweep while something has to heal or something has to try and attack the Gyarados and not being able to successfully do that. Big thing for you, Aaron, I would like you, because in the beginning of this draft, you tried that really fast, hard-hitting offense, and then you tried more of this bulkier offense. I'm going to have the same exact thing I'm going to have with Smith. I want you to pick up a mon that is a little bit more actually, this is the name of the game I want you to pick up, Aaron. I want you to spread your versatility, because you're very locked in. Zygarde 50% is versatile, but it kind of, especially for a new player, it's very hard to use because it's hard to use that kind of the versatility that it has. And when you're a new player, you kind of look at it and go, oh, I can only do one thing with this. It's either defensive or I can set up with it. And there's so much else that you can do with it. But Spectrier, it's a one-trick pony. It is the legitimate one-trick pony of the league. It hits hard, but it can only, if you have a counter, it just can't beat that counter. If you have a type null like Chris had, if you have a Porygon 2, if you have an Incineroar, it's just like it can't beat them. And it's very, very hard for that kind of mon to function. You had Heatran, which is a little bit more versatile, but you had to use it as well all season. Cresselia does one thing. It sits there and eats things and then hopefully either sets up or toxics you. That's all it does. Mega Gyarados sets up. Very, very like that. Buzzwole is a lot more versatile, but I feel like you brought it only to 2 games. It was hard to get your kind of like judgment off of that. Comfey is very, very one-dimensional. Torn Eye can be a little bit different. It's versatile, but it presses Prankster moves and presses Hurricane. It's kind of what it does. It gets rid of rocks and it Thunder Waves you, and then it presses Hurricane or U-turns. That's basically the gist with it. It's not a Thundy Eye. Thundy Eye is a lot more versatile than it, where it can run offensive or actually defensive and stuff like that. Torn Eye is a little bit worse, and just it kind of gets stuck into rolls. Muckalola, it's slow, it's bulky, it can hit back hard, and it has cool moves that it can use, but most of the time it's going to be AV. It could be Recycle, or it's just sitting there. It's more of take a hit back. That's what Muckalola does. Eldegoss didn't come to a game, but that is extremely one-dimensional. It's Spit F, and it only literally gets grass moves. The only coverage move I think it gets, Chris, it's Mon. It gets 2 coverage moves. It gets Hyper Voice and Pollen Puff. That's all it gets. So it's definitely a one-trick pony. And then Rotom Frost. Rotom Frost, we didn't get a whole lot of games with this mon either, and this mon is just kind of like mid with versatility. It can Will-O-Wisp you, and it hits Blizzard, and then it Volt switches out. It has Nasty Plot now, so it has options, but yeah, that's kind of where it's stuck. With you, Aaron, what I want to see you do is draft that one powerful mon, like I suggested with Smith, Gengar. It's one of my personal favorites. A mon that's actually on Chris's team right now, Infernape. Infernape is a great versatile mon that you could just, it's simple to build with, but it also allows for creativity and putting new stuff on it. Things like that. I want to see you draft a couple of versatile mons. I would stay away from the ones that maybe be too much out of your league right now. Not because I'm saying you couldn't handle it. I'm not saying that you couldn't do well with it. I'm just saying you're very new to this Pokemon gig. And I want to see mons that you can kind of just hit buttons and then maybe experiment with down the road. So I would stay away from mons like Mew. I would stay away from mons like just mons that want to do everything. So the big one that comes to mind, of course, is Mew. I wouldn't say maybe go for Mew. Lotties could kind of be that way. They're also something you could draft. Actually, that would be something really cool if you liked your dragon types. Latios and Latias are right there, both of which I would suggest going more for Latios. I would stay away from Latias just because Latias is a little bit more you have to set up. It's more setup dependent, whereas Latios can just hit buttons and set up and still do things. Latias you could still use. I'm not saying it's like don't draft it if you want it, but just in the what I'm saying, Latios fits a little bit better. But yeah, mons like that, Infernape, Gengar, Latios, just fast mons that can just be versatile, hit hard, don't necessarily need setup, but have setup options there. And for Megas, if you like Mega Gyarados, there are plenty of Megas around that are like that. Mega Heracross is one of them. I think it's a little bit harder to use than Mega Gyarados, but Mega Heracross also is something there that needs a little bit more team around it. Mons like Mega Sceptile, Mega Pidgeot, just those mid-tier mons. Mega Aggron would be something cool that I think you would like a lot if you like Mega Gyarados. Maybe those low-tier mons not so much, like Mega Sceptile, Mega Pidgeot, just because they take a little bit more effort. They're not as good. Yeah, there's some cool mons. Mega Aggron, like I said. Mega Blastoise. Mega Blastoise could be something cool for you. That one's not really set up, but it can do a lot of damage and be bulky, and kind of it does its job very, very well. Just some mons like that. There's probably a couple megas in there that would fit well as well. Mega Altaria, that's what I wanted to say. Actually, that's the mon I was thinking of. Mega Altaria would be really cool for you. We got to see you. I think you used Tapu Koko well. I think you used it well as a fairy and not an electric, if that makes sense. I think you used it as an electric, kind of weird. But I enjoyed the way you used it as a fairy, of like an offensive fairy, of just hitting hard with those dazzling gleams and doing stuff like that. But if you like, I want you to use a more versatile mon with setup options. If you like Mega Gyarados, we're bringing back Snap Moves next year, which is another. I'm leaking everything. I need to shut up. But Snap Moves will be returned next year. So blurred. Yeah, they're bleep me out. But so return Mega Altaria with DD is a menace. It is really, really cool. So yeah, that could be an option for you. But it is also extremely bulky and gets Heal Bell and Roost and all these kind of stuff. Defog. So yeah, it's a really, really cool mechanic that you can use there. Mega Gyarados, Mega Altaria can be kind of similar that way. But yeah, so I think it's time for you, Chris, if you have anything to say, or if you just want to go straight into the monkey announcement.
We're going straight into it. What monkey are you? Let's think about this. Let's think about this. all right. Once again we have the good old the. All right. Let's see. We have. All right. It is the Borneus Slow Lonus monkey. Look at this. Look at this nice monkey. Look at him. He's so nice. Hello?
What? Oh, the Slow Loris? Sorry, I didn't hear you. My bad, guys. I was distracted. Yeah, the Slow Loris, the Borneus Slow Loris, is a really cool monkey. It's a tiny monkey. It's really tiny, but it's actually, I didn't want to put the whole scientific name, but they don't really have a name for it, so I just kind of felt like through what it's a type of Slow Loris. I don't think they classify it technically as like a Slow Loris, but it's a type of Slow Loris, and it's found in Borneus, and is actually the only known monkey, Chris, fun animal fact, to be poisonous. It is a poisonous monkey that actually has poison in it.
Nani?
So,
Nani?
It can kill a large human male with one bite. So, it is extremely cool. It's I think that explains Aaron very, very well. He's a very quiet guy. When he gets involved, though, he can be very, very fun and very passionate. But I think that's with him is seeing that those one mons that are just. I want to compare it to the Slowlords because that one bite that can just take you out. You know what I mean? I want to see those mons that I want to see him use it. So things like that. So like Gengar, Infernape, Mega Altaria, those kind of things with setup options or just hitting really, really hard. That Slowlords, that cute, cuddly Pokemon that you might not be very afraid of. You might glance at it and be like, oh, those are good stats. Yeah, but I'm not terrified of it. I'm more worried about Zygarde or these like scary, scary mons. But then Infernape takes you out, just sweeps your team, you know? That can happen. Scarf Gengar is a menace. As we've seen this season, Scarf Gengar is an absolute menace at just cleaning up. So that's what I want to compare. So that just low tier person that has a lot larger bite than it may seem, and might look from record wise. So yeah, that's what I want to compare you to. And yeah, so now we're moving on. We're going to number 9. As you guys think, who do you think is gonna be number 9? But yeah, so number 9. We're going to go to get it all set up for you guys. It should be fading to your screen now. It is Monster, our favorite Trick Room coach of the Terraform Torterras. We have Monster, who is roughly sitting at 4-6. I don't know if he's gonna forfeit or not. He's been busy and stuff, so we are either seeing 5-6 or 4-7. I don't think it makes much of a difference. His season's over. This entire season, I think is just a send to Trick Room doesn't work, first of all, and then second of all, just it wasn't a great team comp around the Trick Room. You had some really cool things, but you had a lot of bonds that did the same thing. But it was also, I think this season was just classic Monster. With like not like the dismal season. He's a playoff coach. We've seen that, and I want to point out some stuff later about that. But Melmetal is just a monster mon. It just cries monster, and it did well. It was 8-3 in 6 games, last 5, and it was just a menace. People were always like, "I don't have a swap in a Melmetal because you usually don't."
Pummels everyone's team.
Yup, he does. He takes his big 2 nuts out of you, and then just slams them into you. Yup, and then it's just being an offensive steal is like that. But Monster is a bulky offense person. That is just what he's always been. He's been either bulky offense or just full on, like just full bulk. And hey, that's just what he likes to play. And I will say that through the mid part of that season, he was picking up wins that I think he didn't necessarily like think that people were gonna win against. Started picking up. He had a nice 3-win streak against Smith, Aaron, Steph, who are below him, yes, but it was impressive wins nonetheless. And then he lost to Taylor, won against Tristan versus Forfeit, and then fell down the slide of James Link Mystery. I think he did really well against Buxton. He brought him to a 2-0. I think he would have given Chris a little bit more of a fight if he pressed Trick Room, but that was when he was still learning like Trick Room mechanics, because nobody's comfortable with Trick Room starting off. I can tell you that right now. Nobody's comfortable with it because it's just not a singles thing. But basically, he wanted to bring around Glacier, and I think Glacier came to like 2 games. And it was just like that discoordination. So I'm not gonna talk a whole lot about Monster because it was just discoordination. It came to 1 game. The Glacier came to 1 game. I know that was the mon he wanted to use so much. That's why it's kind of disappointing to see it only come to 1 game.
A little bit more.
He used depth really well. Everything on his team came at least once and put in work, at least a little bit, or put a little bit of fear into some people hard. But what I want to say, Monster, though, I'm just gonna kind of head into this. I think this season was just bad team comp. It didn't form well. It just never came together. Felt like big thing I want to see from Monster. I want to see some offense. I want to see some fast mons. I want to see a mon above the 110 speed range Monster. I don't know if you physically can do it. I mean, I know you drafted Spectre last season in FBL, but that's the one trick pony Spectre. I have my certain feelings about Spectre, but I want to see you draft something 110 and above that just hits like a truck. Please. And I want Monster. What I'm going to ask you to do right now is going to blow your mind. I don't know if you'll be able to do it, but I want you to go within your heart, and I want you to draft a Mega that's above 12 points. Okay? That's what I want you to do, all right? I get that you love these cool low-tier Megas. I think they're cool too, but I think when you're building around a Mega and stuff, I'm okay if you use a low-tier Mega, especially if you have a team built already, and then you're just kind of like, this could fit. Mega Bayonet maybe fits in here. Mega Galele maybe is like something niche that I could do like different this season. I get that, and that's fun, and I love seeing these new Mons. But I want you to, you know what? There are unique Pokemon Megas that aren't used as much. Mega Metacam. Draft Mega Metacam. Draft Mega, who else is not drafted a lot? Mega Pinsir. Like Chris, you draft Mega Pinsir. That would be a very, very, very monster Mon as well. But I would like, it's not above 110, but it's at least above 100.
It's above 100.
So, it's a 105. But,
who knows? You might be good at using faster
but I mean,
Mons.
it's faster than that because it gets a priority that's stat. Yeah. So, Mega Pinsir would be great for you, but I want to see a Mon above 12 points monster. Just to kind of give you that cornerstone, because I think you struggle to build around your cornerstones. I want you to pick a high tier Mon, a good Mega, and maybe a Mon you want to use and kind of build off of that. Things that support it, stuff like that. That's what I would want to see. So without further ado, we're going to go straight into this.
The envelope I have just been given.
And we're going to go straight into monkeys.
The monkey, your monkey, my fellow coach monster, is the Baboon.
Yes, sir.
Look at him.
We have the Baboon. So the Baboon is a big, bulky, scary monkey. People look at it, and most of the time, people don't think of Baboon being very scary. But if you know a little bit about it, they have one of the sharpest fangs in the monkey game. One bite could completely just obliterate your arm. They could just tear it out. It is just nuts. It's nasty. It's scary. It's just this versatile monkey. What I want to see, though, is the Baboon looking at it. Chris, it is a monkey that is in an area with not many trees. It is in the African savanna where there's not a lot of trees and stuff like that. And looking straight at it, you do not think a baboon's very fast, right? Like looking at it, it's got like really big shoulders, skinny legs, this big head, no tail with a bright, it's got a tail, but it's got that bright butt colors to show mating season and stuff like that. But when you look at it, it doesn't look like a very fast monkey, but surprisingly in there, the Baboon is extremely fast. This Baboon, I actually have to look this because I'm not exactly sure the exact speed, but Baboon are extremely fast monkeys and are very dangerous when they use that speed. But a Baboon, did you know, Chris, can run up to, I thought I actually had it right. I wanted to make sure to fact check myself. But did you know Baboons can run up to 30 miles per hour? So those monkeys can move.
For food.
But yes, so I want to see some of that speed monster next season. Show that we've seen that really strong bite. We've seen that really strong grit. Baboons have some of the strongest grit of any monkey, but we want to see that speed. Show that hidden speed in you, and I want to see some cool, fast offense from you. So that's for next season. I think that's a cool relationship in that way. What monkey you are and what monkey you can become. Become the better monkey.
The bigger monkey.
Reject humanity. Return to
monkey.
Yes.
Return.
We're fading back out. Probably already we have.
Turning into human. You must go back to monkey. Come on.
Doing it. And our resident number 8 coach, we're climbing the ladder. We're almost the playoff teams. At number 8, we have filling in our next coach. Drum roll, Chris. We have Taylor, coach of the United Arab Emirates. Unknown. And this team, starting off, was offensively a juggernaut.
Oh
it
my
was
goodness,
just scared.
yes.
It was scared to prep for. You could not physically prep for all these threats. But that's the game of Pokemon. You can't bring every prep. But this season, I think it related to a lot of inexperience. And I agree. I love Taylor's creative building. Don't get me wrong. I might hate some of it. It might annoy the shit out of me sometimes. But I genuinely enjoy your contribution to the league, and I enjoy seeing these sets and some of the cool tech that you actually do come up with. It. You have a whole lot of shit and then something really cool, like we saw with Endure Multi. Yes, this diamond that is just like, wow, that's actually really fucking cool, Taylor. That's some cool tech.
Copy. But, put it in a doc for later.
But For you, Taylor, this offensive juggernaut, it just never seemed to get rolling. For something that's so heavy, you relied on your walls a lot, and I'm gonna swap things. We just went 4 coaches that I talked about offense. Taylor, I want to see you draft a little bit more bulk. I think you played amazing. When you had Deoxys defense, I think you played that mon really, really well. You played Licky Licky really, really well. Your Moltres was probably up there with just some of the top MVP defensive candidates, just because it walled so much that it probably shouldn't have even walled. You got a couple of Moltres flame body burns, but everybody knows that Moltres just spreads flame body like it's nobody's business. So that's kind of just, that's not your fault. It's just the fact that Moltres is a beast. But I think you used it well. Naga, I think I'm gonna say this as well. You played very mid with Naga. I think that there was a lot of times that you didn't bring Naga when you should have, or you kind of restricted Naga into choice scarf roles, where because you just wanted to be the fastest thing on the field at all times. And like I understood that, but it was at times where it was just like, don't restrict Naga so much. Let it pivot. Let it land a Draco and then pivot out. Because most of the mons that wanna come in on it that are faster than it cannot take some of its high powered moves. And if you like, I wanted to see some Beast Boost sweeps with it. You know what I mean? Like I want to see Life Orb Naga. Cool. I want to see some Poison Barb Naga. I want to see something like some cool stuff. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing I have with Naga. I think you could have just used it a little bit better. But use Dracovish great, because Dracovish is just Dracovish. Kartana, it seems you struggle to use it. So I would don't stay away from it, but I would just say like that kind of mon. You can't take a hit with it, which I think goes into what I'm saying as I want you to build actually a little bit more bulky offense. I want you to stay bulky, kind of like what I was saying with Steph, but with you, I'm okay with you grabbing a couple of really offensive mons pairing with your bulky offense. Crook, I think it did better than its 0-2 stat. I think you played that fine. Rotom Mo was very meh. You kind of sacked it at weird points, brought it in at weird points, so I don't really have a lot to say to it, as it only came to 4 games. Vaporeon wasn't there a lot, but served as an okay defensive wall. Reuniclus, you played really cool. Like I said, you played that mon cool. It's bulky offense. Like I'm saying, Licky Licky, you played great as well. And then your Octillery that got 2 kills in Trick Room. Woo.
My man.
Basically, the thing I want to say is I know you love your fast juggernaut offense and you enjoy it, and that's what you kind of drafted. You had Darmg, you've had Dracovish, you've had Naga, you have Kartana, you have Mega Diancie, you've had Infernape, just mons that are just terrible to swap. I forgot to tell you about that, Chris, but Taylor had like the monkey team last season. But you want another monkey that I think would actually fit. If you want another monkey that I could suggest to you, Taylor, it's something like Zarude. I think Zarude would be kind of in your it's a good price range usually where it's at, and I'm not a huge fan of Zarude, but I've been getting a lot more like, I've been looking at it more. Slink's been using it more, who I like Slink, and he's not somebody I hate using it, so I'm kind of looking at it a little bit more positive, and I've actually come to like, it's not terrible. Like I originally, like I hated it before. I'm still not super fond of it, but I think it'd be a good fit for you. I think it's still a fast mon, it's bulky, and it hits hard. I think that's something that you would like, because 105 speed's nothing to sneeze at, especially with the kind of bulk that it has. But as long as you can take it from getting hits taken on it that it doesn't want to hit, like bug moves, it doesn't love taking U-turns. It loves berries, which is kind of cool. It loves its resistance berries, because it can run jungle healing and stuff like that, and it doesn't like super care about like status and things like that. But yeah, and there's setup options with bulk up, there's setup options, there's just defensive options, Slink's shown AV, stuff like that. But talking too much about Zarude, but other mons I think you could use, there's one that I actually really think that I would like to see you see, and that's Mega Mawile. That mon hits like an absolute, it just obliterates everything in its path. I think that could be your obliteration mon, and build around it. Build some good bulk around it. And then I think you could do well with it. I don't suggest this hyper offense. There's some people that it works for, but a lot of people it doesn't. So what I suggest for you is just some really bulky offense. And I just mean drafting like this defensive core, kind of like what you did with the offensive juggernaut. Just do an offensive core with like 1 or 2 really hard hitters. So yeah, that's it. And I think it's time, Chris, for his monkey
for
comparison.
your monkey. All right, I had the envelope is in.
I don't think that's spelled right, but there it is.
All right, and the card says the monkey you are, Taylor, is the Capuchin.
Yes, the Capuchin. So we're just gonna do the regular old. I think it's the black-faced Capuchin. So if you guys have ever seen Night at the Museum, you know the little monkey that's always causing havoc. Yep, Dexter. He's a Capuchin. That's what you were talking about. When you said Dexter, I wasn't like I was thinking about something else. But yeah, Dexter the Capuchin. He is a Capuchin. I actually work with a Capuchin right now, so I actually know her name's Sheena, and she's adorable. You guys should come see her if you're ever in. But I relate Taylor with Capuchins because Capuchins are very, 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 very territorial, and they're a lot more aggressive than you think. As cute and cuddly as they look, they just cause all sorts of mischief. And I think I relate that to Taylor with all his kinds of sets and stuff like that. He's just very initiative. He's very very mind oriented, making reads, stuff like that. And that's just reminds me of the Capuchin. It reminds me of just its ability to solve problems. It's one of the smartest monkeys and stuff like that. And it's extremely scary. It's fast. It's one that has extremely strong grip, and it has some really sharp things. So
it even says right here,
trust me, it's not good.
Readily identified as the organ grinder monkey.
Yep, no. So what they do, their reason is that because when they kill something, they'll take their organs out and they'll chew on them to sharpen their teeth and get their they really they'll chew a lot, and they basically and they'll mush it up. What they'll do with their hands is they'll rip you apart to get you into small pieces to eat. So yeah, Dracovish, but yeah, so stuff like that. So I relate him to the Capuchin. But draft some more bulk, Taylor. I want to see it. I want to see that nice juicy bulk on your team. So I'm a big thing I want to see for Taylor is this Mega. I want to see Mega Venu. I want to see Mega Venu next year. If you don't draft Mega Venu, I'm not gonna be sad. But Mega Venu is a really cool mod. I think would fit right in your thing. It's not actually drafted that often, but it's a very versatile mod. It's not drafted not that often, but it's not drafted like it's not in the top echelon of mons drafted. So either Mega Venu or kind of like I said with Steph with Mega Scizor. That could be something really cool that you want to draft. And I also said Mega Mawile. So those three are all out there as well. I would really like to see you use Mega Wild because that's a mon that could still it's bulky enough to take a hit. It hits it just kills whatever is in front of it. And I think you did a really good job pivoting this year as well, just to add on to that. So you get if you can get Mega Mawile in like you got in Dracovish this year, then I think you'll be golden. Oh, yeah. But yeah, so we're moving on to our number 7 slot. So actually for this we have a tie for 6th place. So there is not really a 7th place, but there's 2 6th place tied. And the bottom one is going to be Slink, coach of the Los Angeles Lopunnies, or Lopunnies, however you like to say that. But big thing I have to say for Slink is wow, man, you really climbed it back in there. You had a really win-loss kind of thing, and then you took a little bit of a slide when you lost to Buxton and Mystery in a row. Buxton was definitely a hacksy win, and then Mystery kind of it was a great game, but it kind of came off. Yeah, it was really close. And then after that, he took a 3-game win streak and even beating Chris, our local monkey here in the monkey battle.
The monkey games were fun. Yeah. I liked it.
The monkey games were fun. That was really close. That could have gone either way. The biggest thing I'm going to say about Slink, is great initiative. This Slink did amazing with walls. It was weird because these walls that he has, they weren't in a whole lot of games. Gliscor did amazing. He played I love watching Slink play Gliscor. Gliscor is one of my favorite mons, and he did really well. Milotic, he played, I would say, probably around mid-tier with Milotic, but it was for me in my games, I don't remember them being on the field for very long, which is weird because he built this a very bulky. He played Zarude amazing. I love his way he played Zarude. Bronzong was give and take, or whether it got hacks, because Bronzong was the hacks machine this season for him. And then Weezing came to a couple niche games that it needed to do, and it did what it didn't need to do, and same with Arcanine. Arcanine was what we said was the glue for this, And funnily enough, it just didn't really happen a whole lot like that. Arcanine went 1 and 2 -1, but it stayed around that neutral area. It came to 2 games. I felt like it was going to be a lot more glue, and I'm going to say it right now. I think it needs to be in playoffs. I think it needs to come a little bit more as a wall or an offensive presence. I think Arcanine can be really who's. But big thing I want to say is this Mega Alakazam being 12 and 3 in 7 games. He took this mon under his wing and he loved it. Transitioning from Mega Gallade to Mega Alakazam is not too different. You're just swapping attack stats basically. But Mega Alakazam being a lot faster and getting not as many like crazy moves as Mega Gallade in that versatility section, but still being versatile. He just took it under his wing. He felt right into it. I really enjoyed watching him see it. I think whoever he plays round 1 should be definitely. I think he is the biggest underdog of playoffs. Is Slink. And I don't think many people are thinking of it like that. Many people are, oh, it's Buxton, oh, it's Chris. But I think people know about Buxton. They know it's Rain. They know what to do. Chris has been just blowing things up with his monkey powers and Mega Pinsir.
Awesome,
and I think people know. Yes, and insane luck. But I think Slink is one of those top name coaches that's kind of just snuck into everyone's radars. He's very vocal. He's very vibrant. So people know about him. But I think his games have kind of snuck under the radars of being like every single week it's a really good game. He never loses bad. He always gives up a good battle. And I'm really interested to see it. The big thing I will say for Slink is for him, it's just gonna be like I don't have a whole lot to say because his Thundy's done well. He's used Slacking well. He's used a lot of these mons well. The ones that I will say he hasn't used maybe the best. I haven't super enjoyed the way he's used Weezing. I felt like it should have died on many occasions when it's gotten moves off and stuff like that. Whether that be a Will-O-Wisp that Hex would have killed, or just like when a couple games that it's come to, it just felt like it either came in press defog and that's about it. Strange Steam. I mean, it's not one of his main mons, and that's understandable. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but it just really has been under par for me. And then a bigger mon that I think has been under par, with such this emergence of his Mega Alakazam and his emergence of this Thundy T, or Shifu. I think Shifu's gone a little bit under the radar for some people. I think people have been over prepping for it and stuff just because it's scary still, even it being the water type. But I will say that Slink is the biggest balls guy I know because he is not afraid to press surging strikes. He's not afraid to press surging strikes for close combat on anything. He will press the button.
Iron Barb's Rocky Helmet?
He does not care. Nope, he does not care. Yep, he's pressing close combat. And that's the biggest thing. I think that's where he's getting is that this year Shifu tends to get chipped a lot because Rocky Helmet is just something he's used to beat it. That's one of the ways to beat it is just chip it down with Rocky Helmet.
Just send something that's faster and eat its booty cheeks.
And then it's forced to be Scarf a lot, which I feel for him. It gets Aqua Jet, but
how many times has Aqua Jet's priority is
he's brought it Scarfed almost like 3 games.
I know he's brought it.
How many games has it come to? It's been at least twice for sure. He would be able to tell us because it's come to 6 games. I would say at least 3 to 4 of those games it's been Scarf. I know he brought Bulk Up once, and I think he might have brought Banded once, but I think 3 or 4 of those games were 100% Scarf. So that's I know he brought Protective Pads one week. Like I think it was against the Ferrothorn week against Buxton. But I think that was Bulk Up week too though. So big thing I want to say is like just you have such great speed with Mega Alakazam, and then it falls off a cliff and goes to Thundy T. So I understand it being Scarf. I actually doesn't go to Thundy T because this is
Rude first and then Thundy.
Yeah, and then but yeah. So biggest thing I want to see from Slink next season. Funnily enough, I would like to see a little bit more balance. I do like seeing his crazy offense and seeing him do it with it, and he loves doing it. He loves his crazy offense and then his crazy bulk. That's what he always likes to do. He's just like, I'm going to draft this amazing defensive core with like 4 or 5 mons that just cover each other and then draft 1 or 2 really offensive mons. And it usually works for him. But what I'd like to see is I'd like to see a little bit more versatility out of Slink's mons. He has Gliscor, which is the mon of versatility. Like, that's it. And then Thundy T can be versatile, but everything else, it's just like Zarude is either setup or defensive. and it's kind of one thing. My Lodic is either defensive one way or another. Arcanine can be both, but it doesn't. It just got Scorching Sands, so it can like finally hit like other typings. It can finally hit other fires and stuff like that, and it's like okay. But it gets Wild Charge. It can hit waters and stuff like that, so that's cool. But Urshifu Rapid Strike hits big monkey moves and kills stuff. But Urshifu's a bear though, right? Yeah, it's a bear. But bears, monkeys, same thing, right?
Close enough.
Bears just want to be monkeys. That's what it is.
Yeah.
They wish they were monkeys. Yeah, see, that's where it is.
And they're like, I just want to be monkey.
I think if he drafts a little bit more versatility, if he wants to go the monkey route, like I've said this name before, but Infernape is right there, one of my favorite mons. Very, 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 very versatile. Just Nidoqueen, I think, would be a mon. He actually had it in FBL season, and that's extremely versatile mon. Nidoking, you want to go offensive? Versatile, that's a mon for you as well. Excuse me. But I think there's a lot of other mons I'm forgetting. Let me look. I have it right here in front of me, and I'm not even looking.
Let me just take a look.
A mon that I would really like to see Slink use that I think he would love. I don't know if he's used it before, but I want to see him use Zapdos. I think that'd be a very, very cool mon for him to use. And just stuff like that. I would like to see him use a Pixie maybe as well. I think a Pixie could use work. Biggest thing for me with Slink is I'd love to see Victini. I think he would use Victini really well. But yeah, there's not a lot to say. I think that Slink's a very sneaky team, a very powerful team, and I think he's very deserving of this tied 6th. Yeah. So let's head straight into the monkey business.
This monkey, Slink, my man, Slink, your monkey is, drumroll please, the orangutan.
Yeah, he's got beak stinky.
He's got the beak stinky.
So for Slink, the orangutan, it's kind of a joke. I'm just being mean, but orangutans are big. They're just big, scary monkeys, and they're also very cute and very, very cool. And I think that relates to Slink a lot.
A couple times.
But that is what I wanted to do with orangutans. Are extremely big. They're bulky. It doesn't look like you could beat an orangutan up. It looks like I just soak it up and sit there and go and like fart or something. You know what I mean? You cross chop it across the neck, and it just looks at you like you're stupid or something. But that's what I want to say. It's just amazing bulk, but orangutans have one of the strongest grips of any monkey. It can just crush bones. I'm not even joking. If he grabs your hand and doesn't want to let go, just crushing your bones. You could break your entire hand. And he's got one of those he's got long, lanky arms that reach out and just grab you. I think everyone's seen that video about few years ago of that woman who the orangutan grabbed her hand and wouldn't let go, and she was bleeding and stuff because he was just pulling. And it didn't mean anything, but he didn't realize his own strength. And I think that's the same thing with Slink. I think that relates. This just amazing bulk, just an extremely bulky thing that has just nuts offense.
Some good
and
potential.
I think that relates exactly.
Playoffs, yeah. It's got some.
Yeah. So weird thing is, I think I want to see Slink use his bulk just a little bit better. I think he's used it well. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he hasn't used it well, but I want to see Arcanine. I want to see a little bit more versatility with that. Gliscor's been amazing. My Lodic's been very mid. Weezing's been very mid. Zarude has been, I think, a little bit above mid. I would put him right above like that middle ground area. And then Bronzong, I would say, has been mid just because of Haxes and then things going its way or things not going its way. I can't really determine it. But
Meteor Beam Power was pretty scary though, so.
It was pretty cool, but it's hard. It's like the weakness policy Earthquake Psychic set that Paul brought one season. That was cool. But yeah, so yeah, I think that sums up number 6. And going right back into number 6, tied number 6, we have drum roll. Me. James. I am bringing up the top of number 6. I am here, guys. And we're here. So, the story of my season, the story of every season I go through. I'm trying to fix it. Big things for me. I'm not gonna go too depth in myself because you guys
then things just fall apart.
Things got sniped. You guys have heard this from the beginning of the season. I was really in the Steph and Chris's team. I had to make Steph's teams from the scraps of what we had left because we had to make some transaction in grace period. Chris got amazing team. We'll see him soon, but yeah, for me, it's just the one word or two words to describe it were ups and downs. Finding mons that worked with the way I wanted them to work or work together, and then mons not working, not doing the things I wanted to, and then chokes. I'm just gonna be honest with it. Choking was a lot of my season. Making weird plays at weird times, whether whatever excuse that I had, it just wasn't a good play, and it comes down to that. Biggest thing I will say though is Gengar. Gengar was my lord and savior of this year. He just put in work. He just put in absolute work, and I appreciate him doing that because he pulled me into playoffs, and we got a decent playoff spot hopefully going in. So biggest thing I was enjoying though, Mega Heracross has really emerged. Garchomp it got that one last sweep at the end of the season. Go ahead, Chris, if you have something to say. Sorry.
Garchomp is now not forced into the role of being a rocker every time it comes because we now have Bibarel.
We didn't realize, I didn't even know Bibarel gets stealth rocks, and we thought my only stealth rocker was Garchomp, but no more. No more is the hatred. We have Bibbs, who is the premier rock setter. He's also the sweeper.
He's not a bad kind of like. He's decently fast, but he doesn't have bad bulk.
He's not fast. He's 71. That's terrible.
Okay, listen up. Okay,
with Suicune's faster than you, that's a problem.
Speed. Okay, he's 61, so
we're good here. Okay, but Celesteela is a giant steel building.
But it's Bibbs. So
that's true. Bibbs stalks for himself, so we can't say anything bad. But I have my electric that I love. I got my Grimstar. Grimstar has proven a lot of people wrong.
Yeah.
That put in a lot of work. Talonflame didn't do a whole lot, but it just didn't have a great matchup a lot of the games, so it didn't get to. Blastoise has been a good defensive wall for me. Celesteela has been a great. I hate Celesteela. I hated this mon. I never liked it. And look at me. I freaking have it. I'm doing amazing with it. But yeah, I got it. And then Mega Heracross putting in the work. I've been doing really well pivoting into it.
One thing I have not seen was Mr. Rhyme. SMH my head. Where is this mon at?
He's just there for the typing, I guess. I don't know. But big things for me going into next season. I don't really know what people would want to see me draft or want to see me use. I want to use a little bit more setup dependent mons with a little bit more versatility. I'm not exactly sure yet what I even want. But I'm just looking. I know Victini's one that I've wanted to use for a long time. I'm kind of good with that. Some interesting mons in there, maybe like Mega Aerodactyl with that really fast, really hard hitting, but also setup options. Necrozma is something that's like
setup more
it's defensive, but it has some setup options. But another big mon that I'm not gonna say right now that I'm thinking about too. That I'm looking at right now, but yeah, there's some different stuff that I'm interested in. I like versatility, but biggest thing for me, actually, I want to draft a team that has synergy for once in my life because I love changing and I love using new mons and I always want to use something different. So I always end up doing that. But I'm gonna draft a team this next season that actually has synergy. Like something that worked together a lot better than a lot of what I had. That's my biggest, I think, problem.
I know you like using new mons, but sometimes if the glove just fits for that mon to be on the team, just grab it.
I think that's something I need to get over because if you guys don't know about me, Mystery knows about the pain of trying to get this. He thinks it's all the same mons, but I've only drafted Jirachi once. I try to get it on every team, but I've that Weavile I've drafted 3 times. He's the most, but Garchomp I drafted twice actually, but I love my Garchomp. It's not had the best of season because stuff happened, but I love my Garchomp. I love using it, but I think synergy and building teams to work together like that, same thing, just synergy is definitely something big that I need to do. So and my monkey comparison.
Your monkey comparison is which monkey are you? You, James, are the ring-tailed lemur.
All right, guys. So this is actually a completely different subsection. It's not a monkey. It's not an ape, but it is a lemur. The ring-tailed lemur. My boy King Julian himself.
Did you say the ring-tailed wiener? Excuse me.
Lemur, but if you like wiener, that makes sense. We all knew it. You know what? It's okay. Coming out on YouTube, that's a big step. That's a huge step. But all right, let me talk about this lemur. All right, King Julian himself, the ring-tailed lemur. But the ring-tailed lemur is a very, very, very picky monkey, and that is what I wanted to go with. It is very specific, as you guys know, kind of like King Julian. He wants his way, things his way, stuff like that. And that's kind of with me. I need to be a little bit more flexible. Yeah, I need a little bit more flexible. Maurice. Oh my God, Mort, you're making me so uncomfortable right now. But it's also one of my favorite all-time animals, so I love the ring-tailed lemur. I actually work with one. I work with two. They're my two beautiful little girls. I love them. But I work with them at the exotic zoo right now. But yeah. So with the lemur, I think it's just a pickiness. It's just it does its job really well, and it's a really, really extremely fun monkey to watch, I think. And that's like, my games are fun to watch. We have that Gengar. I always put on a show, whether that's a bad play or a good play. I think I always put on a show. So that's kind of what I want to put on, because ring-tailed lemurs always put on a show, whether they're screaming, they're singing, or they're just doing some funny lemur stuff, because lemurs are just funny. But yeah, that's what I kind of compared myself to. I put on a show during a battle, but the pickiness is the big thing, is getting rid of that and working towards that. So yeah, I think we can move on though, and we have number 5, number 5. We're in the top 5, guys. We're gonna take a little break just to say, if you think where you are, do you think where you are? Are you excited to see if are you in the top 5? Yeah, so basically
that. Intermission, because I gotta go to the bathroom.
Okay, well, while Chris goes to the bathroom, hopefully he hurries up. I wanted to do a quick shout out to everybody, and I just wanted to say thank you for joining Ncl Season 2. It's been a big thing, and I think I'm gonna do in this Power Rankings a little bit of a sneak peek for next season. The mods are gonna kill me because I didn't tell them about this. But I'm going to do a little bit of a sneak peek. We're going to get, I'm not going to give specifics and stuff like that, but you can look towards some new mods, some new juicy mods that you guys were so begging to come back. We are freeing them, and some new tiering. So we get some new cool tiering for you guys. I'm going to leave it hanging of what mods may be or may not be coming back. Leave what you think is coming back below. Like I said before, a little bit of a surprise for you guys. I think that this is an okay time to announce it. But we are bringing back all snapped moves but Hidden Power. We're not bringing back Hidden Power. But yeah, so that's what's going to be coming. Yeah, we're going to see that. So a lot of mons like Mega Altaria, some of my favorite, Mega Lopunny, gets returned back. It's basically returned, but Signal Beam is a very useful move. Barrier, we're gonna see that coming back. It's a kind of a niche move for like Mega Alakazam, things like that. We're gonna see Mega Pinsir shoot up, as we see Chris using Mega Pinsir very well this season. Like I said, Mega Alt with return is now definitely a scary offensive mon. Pursuit is one of the big ones. My boy Weavile gets really gets that with, it's just really good against a lot of the Gen 8 format. T-Tar is coming back with that kind of stuff. So yeah, so some interesting things to look at to surprise you guys. Big shout out. I want to have a big shout out to all my mods. Mystery CD is my co-owner. He's done an extremely good job. Give him a big round of applause, a big pat on the back, because he's put on a lot of time and effort for you guys. So as crazy as he may be sometimes, he's definitely somebody I extremely appreciate, who's put in a lot of work towards this NCL. I also want to have a big shout out to Slink. Slink has been an extremely helpful addition to the mod team, in just case of dock work, referring to stuff like that. And to round it out is Tristan. Tristan's been a big part. He's been really busy lately, so we haven't gotten to see him too much, but he is, when we need his input, he's always there to give his input. And we have the monkey, he's back. Yeah, big shout out to Tristan as well for joining the mod team, being a part of this amazing season, and I'm really excited, and I hope to have our mods continue with us. So Oh, also, guys, we are getting a new mod. That is my other late surprise. We are getting a
Why
new
are
mod.
we discussing this year? Isn't it supposed to be in the...
It's surprises. I'm not releasing everything, but we are getting a new mod. So you guys take on. But who do you think it's gonna be? But
comments in the...
yeah, we are doing some interviews and stuff. So interviews might be open. We'll see. Probably not. I think we've already had them selected by the mods that have voted. Yeah, there's that. But since we took that intermission, we are back to number 5. Are you ready, Chris, for number 5?
Yeah.
You're moving on. Number 5. And rounding out number 5 is Buxton.
Bucks.
This is somebody I really want to talk about because this is a person that I don't think anybody expected to be in the top 5 of power rankings.
Oh, I did.
He drafted Rain, which is just amazing. But the big thing I want to talk about is mid-season transactions just propelled his team to the next level. His Rain was decent as it was, but he changed some things. He got a lower tier Rain sweeper so he could pick up another high tier Pokemon that just aided to Rain even with Latios in there. And it just took off. Even adding Obstagoon has been a big help to his team.
Good, yeah.
It's been scary. But big thing I want to say, there's not a whole lot we've been talking about this season. Rain is Rain, but the way he's used the Zapdos, I've been
goodness.
There are times where I was a little frustrated because I think a certain set, I think he gets a little afraid to go extremely offensive. I want to see some choice items on the Zapdos too. It's not happened barely at all. I want to see some speed, maybe some agility. I ran that once where I ran 3 moves agility Zapdos, and that is an amazing, cool set. But yeah, I think that's something he could go on. He's used this Rain really well. Mega Swampert's been used, I think, mid-tier. Latios he's used really well. Ferrothorn he's used well. And even Kabutops in the 1 or 2 games that it's come to has had a decent showing. He's used it well. Keeping Pelipper alive. That is one big thing I wanted to say. He's been keeping that Pelipper alive, and I'm really appreciative of that. Because that's what you need to do in Rain, is keep your setter alive, and I'm really proud of him. Usually in some newer people, that's the one problem they have in Rain, is keeping that setter alive. And Pelipper, funnily enough, was 1 in 5, but in 8 games that it came to, in all of the games it died either late or it set up Rain when it needs to be. Rain was always up when it needed to be up, is what I'm trying to get to. So he kept it alive when it needed to be alive. It didn't get many kills and stuff like that, but it did its part. It did what it needed to do in setting up that Rain. So big shout out to Bucks for that. For next season, Buxton, if you like Rain, then I would suggest doing a little bit more balanced, offense. I think Buxton, that fits exactly into your thing. I think you like your designated walls. You're a lot like me. I love my balanced offense. Want to see you draft a few designated walls and then some offensive Pokemon like Zapdos. Like that. I want to see a little bit faster Pokemon on your teams. I get it, it's Rain, so it's a little bit deceiving with Kabutops and Mega Swampert being fast, and then Latios is 115. I want to see like a speedy boy on one of your teams, one that's above 115 or something like that. I know you love your hard hitters that are usually a little bit slower, but pick a hard hitter that's a little bit faster. A little bit of a glass cannon. I'd like to see Buxton use a glass cannon and see where that can get him.
Go in if your Pelipper has not set up Rain or if Rain is gone.
Just draft a. I'm just not even in Rain. I mean, Chris. I just mean
something
next season.
that if Rain is not up yet or if it is gone.
No, I'm saying next season, not Rain. I just mean good pivoting into a glass cannon and stuff. But I mean, he has Latios for that. But yeah, I agree with Chris. Having Mons that work outside of Rain while inside of Rain as well, it benefits both of them. Latios can still run Thunder, stuff like that. It doesn't necessarily care too much about Rain. Either way, so yeah, there's that. But I think it's time for his monkey comparison.
Your monkey comparison, my good sir, Big Bucks, is drum roll, please. The Spider Monkey.
So one of the more famous monkeys, the Spider Monkey. It's an actual monkey. It's very long, it's very fast, and I think it does well. It's found in rainforest. That's where it's mostly found. So I kind of made that connection with rain and monkeys, kind of trying to make that connection. But yeah, spider monkeys live mainly in the rainforest, and they're very fast in the treetops, and they spend all their times in the very high trees. And I think that's been Buxton, is like he's been spending so much time in those high trees that he just hasn't been coming down like everybody thinks he has. Everybody thinks that he'll lose his grip and he'll slip in the rain, but he just hasn't. He's had some disappointing losses, but some really cool wins. He's had definitely win streaks and loss streaks. But I'm excited to see him play really well. He's also toppled one of the best teams in the one of the best teams in the league in Will. He beat Will. It was more of a little bit of a Haxa game, but he played really well in it. I do want to point that out. So I definitely think that's a big up for him. I think getting that win is confidence booster, and that is what young players need. Chris knows a confidence booster is everything. If you beat a high tier team, you're looking yourself into like, you can beat them. It's not looking at this daunting task of like, how would I possibly be able to beat him? We see that like beating Will, especially, it's like, I can beat these teams. And I want I keep saying Wills, Will on my mind. Buxton. I want Buxton to take that win and be like, I can stand up to these guys. I can win these games. I just need to play safe, play smart. And you can win those kind of games. So yeah, that's what sums up a Buxton, and I think the Spider Monkey goes right there with him. I love the Spider, personally, great monkey. So yeah, basically that's it. And we're moving on to number 4. So number 4, drumroll, and coming at number 4 is our resident monkey man himself here, Chris, coach of the Amsterdam Altaria. And the first thing I have to say it is just, what an amazing season Chris has had. This is his first ever draft season. I want to point that out. Being 8-3 plus 19 in your first ever draft team is kind of unheard of. It is just amazing, and we've definitely seen some amazing talent come out of Chris. And it's just this team to back it up. This team is amazing. It just fills all the gaps. It is very, very, very cool team, and it definitely worked and functioned as one. Big thing for Chris. We've talked about panicking, but I don't want to talk about panicking too much. Everybody panics in the first season. It happens. He's not experienced. It happens, dude. We get it. The big thing I want to say is taking the load. Infernape, Rotom Wash, Don Fan, Mega Pinsir has just kind of taken over this team. And like that, it's just those 4 Mons have carried him to this playoff victory. It's carried him to 8 wins. Dragapult, we've started to see pick up a little bit. Jirachi's been more of just a defensive pivot, and Togekiss has been a weird Scarf Mon that's thrown in every once and again when he needs speed. And then Shaman started to show itself as a cool defensive Mon as well. But I do want to point out that I think that Chris did extremely well with Mega Pinsir this year. I want to see him draft another setup Mon. That's what I want to see him draft from now on. I am going to go again back to that bulky offense. I think it functions well with Chris. I think it's what he drafted this year is a little bit. He drafted, I think, a little bit more of initiative offense, but the initiative into his Dragapult, initiative into his Mega Pinsir, initiative into even his Infernape. But I want to see a little bit more setup, and I want to see a little bit more success at setup. So I want to see Chris try his hand at maybe a difficult Mon. I want to see a good team around it. I want to see him build a really good team around it, but I want to see him try next season. I want him to take another challenge. A Mon like Zygarde would be something cool that I would like to see. Aegislash is a little bit different. I don't know if you're ready for that much. That is a little bit really hard to use, but Aegislash could be there. That is something that you could lose. Just a little bit more Mon that's harder to get in Mega Mawile maybe. Torn T, while that Mon is not like super difficult to use, its versatility is a little bit hard to get around sometimes. But like, I definitely want to see a good setup Mon with good pivots around it, kind of like he has this year. I would like to see maybe a little tiny bit more bulk, just because it felt like his bulk had certain weaknesses that it just had such a hard time getting past in that area. But his offense was great. He played very, very well, and I'm really happy. But are you ready for your monkey comparison?
My monkey comparison. Which monkey
your
are
monkey
you?
Comparison is, in fact,
My
I don't know if
monkey
you remember.
Is the Gibbon. Look at it.
Yes, the Gibbon.
Look at it.
So, yes, he's very, very, very cute. But he's a cute monkey. The Gibbon is a very, very cool monkey. he's very, very bland. Like, that's what he looks like when you look at him. But he looks slow. But I think that's the big thing with Chris. Coming in, I don't think, like, when you look at this money, Monkey, I don't think you expect a whole lot from it. But, that's the Monkey. Like, you look at it and you don't expect a lot, but it is actually more than what it seems. So, Gibbon is actually not a monkey. The Gibbon is a small ape known as the lesser apes. It's a group of smaller ape-like monkeys, but they are apes, or monkey-like apes. I guess that's how I put it. And I think that really compares with Chris, because Chris has spent a lot. He's just been at the top of the league the whole time and kind of flying on the radar. Nobody's taking him seriously as like a top tier contender, but I think he is, and he's been staying around there. And I think that that really shows with the Gibbon. You might at first might look intimidating, but at the end of the day, it can outsmart you, it can outplay you, and it can out team you with just team comp. So that's what I kind of wanted to put in there. And they're very, very swift, graceful monkeys, very good at swinging through the trees. They look amazing while they do it, and I think that's when Chris has looked very smooth going through the season. There hasn't been like too many hiccups. There's been one in here, there, but just for a first season, it's been very, very smooth. And a 6-game win streak is nothing to sneeze at, or a 5-game win streak, pardon me, is nothing to sneeze at. So yeah, definitely something really, really cool there. But yeah, summing that up. And then for number 3, we're going to number 3. Drum roll, please. And at number 3, we have coming in is Tristan, coach of the Tip City Time Lords, who has one of the best teams, if not the best comp team in the league, in my opinion. This comp team has been amazing. But what's been weird about it, I think, is we've been seeing these mons that Tristan are more comfortable with doing better, which makes sense. But it's been weird, because I really thought Mega Scizor was going to be a problem for everyone this season. I thought mons like Cinderace were going to be a problem for everyone this season. I thought Tapu Koko, when he got that, was just going to be a problem for everyone. But it's more mons of like Mandibuzz, Kyurem, which is, everybody can be scared of Kyurem, but when you're prepping for a team, I more focus on Mega Scizor and then Tapu Koko, and then Kyurem and Cinderace is kind of there as well, and then breaking his walls and stuff. Mienshao, he's used that mon really well. That is a very Tristan mon. But his walls has been the MVP. His walls plus Kyurem, Mienshao have been the MVP. Mandibuzz, Serena, Swampert, Slowking, Gallagher together have been just either unbreakable or just versatile. They've been extremely, extremely versatile in what they're going to do, and he's been playing them very well. Tristan has had a really hard time getting like things started, I guess, if that makes sense. He's like very slow in beginning games and then picks it up and brings it out at the end of the game. He does have that really, really good win with beating Will, but he's also lost to me and Chris and Mystery, which are all in the playoffs. He's beat Slink and he's beat Buxton, but so far he's kind of half and half with wins and losses in playoffs right now. So it's definitely a toss-up. I think you definitely should be scared of Tristan. He's definitely a playoff coach. He's got plenty of experience, and I'm excited to see what he does. But there's not a whole lot that I would see. The one thing I would say, maybe Tristan, go out of your comfort zone. I want to see like a more offensive draft. Like I want to see a balance / offensive balance. I keep saying offensive, everybody. But I want to see some offense on Tristan. I want to see how he uses it. It's not really his play style, but if I had to see something, it would be that offense. I want to see him draft not just one super offensive mon. Like, I know he's drafted like Dragapult before and stuff, but I want to see like 2 or 3 just hard-hitting mons. You're like, wow, this is scary. He has some sneaky ones with Kyurem, Cinderace, Tapu Koko, and Mega Scizor, like all those mons you can be scared of. But like with Mega Scizor, it feels like it needs to set up a little bit. Cinderace hits hard off the bat. Kyurem doesn't need a setup, but it kind of like, it loves its choice items. And then Tapu Koko is just a hard-hitting mon as well, but can have its checks. But yeah, I would say draft something like Dragapult Mew, or like Mega Mala Dragapult. It's a great team pairing, that kind of thing. That'd be something cool that I'd like to see Tristan lose. I doubt that he'll do it, because I don't know that he likes that playstyle, and you'd rather be comfortable than getting too crazy with stuff. But I think he could use some cool, maybe like Mega Lopunny Latios or something like that would be really, really cool. Some fast, hard-hitting mons. But yeah, something that'd be really cool. So Tristan, are you ready for your monkey comparison?
comparison. Which monkey are you? Tristan, my good sir. The monkey you are being claimed to be is the chimpanzee. My man.
The chimpanzee, the chimp, the most probably recognizable monkey in the world. The chimpanzee is a very scary monkey, extremely strong. They have a really huge fangs. They're really scary, but at the same time, like really like cuddly and like wanting to go. And I think that's Tristan on the basis. In the beginning, he's really cuddly and stuff, but then he warms up and starts that offensive terror. But I think that's really just what Tristan's been the staple, I think, of the NCL, of just like that balance, that one like team that you're looking at. That's what I want to model my team after. Like if you're gonna build a team. Yeah, and it's just the poster child, you know what I mean? And that's what I want to say is Tristan. Like if you ever want to model, like if I want a good team, then you model it off of this kind of team, you know? Like this could be put up there as one of like just best teams, like model your team after this. So yeah, that's what I was kind of modeling off. Chimpanzee is kind of that poster child, so as I think Tristan is for this season, and just of like team comp and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's what I put it. And then we have number two. Who will it be? We have a drum roll, please. Number two, coming in at number two is all of our favorite anti-Will regime. Stand up as your mascot. Yes, the mascot of the anti-Will regime is in fact Will, coach of the Miami Heat. And for this team, it's just been consistency. Every single consistently getting his mons in at the right times, consistently pressing the right button, consistently reading his opponents almost to a T. It's like he's in other people's brains half the time. This coach has just been so good, whether he's getting hacked out or he's just having a good game lost, like against Tristan. It's just, other than those two games, it's just been over and over and over and over again of just consistently reading his opponent. The biggest takebacks from his team, and we've been saying it all year, I think, is the team itself. He picked up some better things with Electros and Mega Sceptile, giving him an actual ground swap in. I think the team is a lot better than it was, and I think the team has actually gotten a lot solider. But I think that there are things that you can exploit. I think if one wall breaks, that can open the floodgates. That's my thing with Will. Excadrill's have been, since the beginning of the season, Excadrill's been a little quiet towards the end. It's kind of been the Mega Sceptile show, and I've been really excited to see that because I love that Pokemon, and Will has brought it into his own. He's used it really well. Going into playoffs, big things I'd watch out for is definitely the Mew. The Mew is always something to watch out for, but I would say the Mega Sceptile. It's been hot. It's been extremely hot these last few weeks, and Will has been using it well. I think it could be extremely scary. Something in Mon that still people may not take seriously because it's a Mega Sceptile. People are like, "Oh, it can't hit me," and it can. It has ways to hit you, and it has ways. And then Will knows that. That's the thing. Will knows what his Mega Sceptile can hit and can't hit, and he functions around that. And he will sit there and bother you, whittle you down until Mega Sceptile can come in and press one button, kill you, or set up and sweep. So that's the big thing I can look out for. Will, there's not a lot of bad things to say, but there's a lot of great things to say as well because you're just such a consistent coach. I think I have something written down here is just reads and setup. I think I already went over that. Big thing I want to see Will is use is kind of the same as Tristan. I want to see some crazy offense. I've seen a lot of bulk from Will over the years. I've seen Mega DNC. I've seen Mons like he had against me. He had the Mega Alakazam, which was definitely scary. He usually has that one really hard-hitting Mon. I want to see a little bit more offense out of him. I don't know. Not hyper offense, but like leaning toward it, if that makes sense. I want to see what Will can do in a very read-heavy game. Like that. I think he would do well with it. I think he would like kind of flourish in that kind of function. But I want to see Pokemon like that. I have some weird Mons I think I wanted to mention for Will. I have things like Mega Gardevoir. I'd like to see him use Mega Gardevoir. Mega Aerodactyl is something I'd like to see. I'd like to see Will use Garchomp, which is maybe not like that super offensive Mon, but with Swords Dance Scale Shot is something really cool. Things just like that overwhelm. I'd like to see Will use like Darm G. That'd be something like weird. You don't think about that. I think Will could be really cool using. But yeah, that's basically where I'm going with that. And I think that about sums up him. And I think we're ready for his monkey comparison.
Ooh, Will, my man, your monkey comparison. Which monkey are you? You, my good sir, are the. How do you say that? Mandrill?
Yeah, Mandrill. So the Mandrill is like a baboon, kind of like monsters comparison was, but they're a lot more colorful. They're the ones that you're thinking of. They are the ones from the Lion King.
Lion King.
If you have ever watched the Lion King, the what's his name? The Morgan Freeman monkey holds him up. Well, that is a Mandrill. That is a Mandrill. Yeah, it's Morgan Freeman, Lion King.
Oh, I never seen the live action one, but
it's not live action. That's the voice for the monkey in Lion King is Morgan Freeman. Swear to God.
Oh yeah, because it was what Donald Glover in the live action.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's Rafiki.
Rafiki.
Yes, but yeah, he was. I knew that for a fact, but yeah, he is a Mandrill, so the very colorful face features in the very very bright red butt. So that's what I want to say. For Will is that target. It's very very obvious, like where you need to hit him and where you need to do this. But it's just that intimidation. I think that's what really compares him to the Mandrills. How scary that monkey is. That monkey is like, that's why it has all the bright colors to say, back off. I am a big guy. I am a bad dude. That monkey has all those colorful because he has one of the largest fangs of any monkey. Those things are like 4 inches long. I'll get you guys the exact link because I'm interested now.
Actually, wasn't Morgan Freeman. It was Robert Guillaume.
Nope, I just looked it up. I just literally looked it up.
Not Morgan Freeman did.
I swear to God it is. They're huge, just so I know. But I literally looked it up. Morgan Freeman, Monkey, Lion King, and it comes right up. It literally is, dude. It literally is, dude.
Maybe the
yes, Rafiki is voiced by Morgan Freeman. The old cartoons, Morgan Freeman voices Rafiki.
Cartoon? I'm looking at the one from 1994. It's saying that Rafiki was played by Robert Guillaume.
Maybe 2 or something like that, but
Anyway, let's just move on.
The actual like movie, dude.
That was the movie.
I see Robert Guillaume. Okay, but I mean, I saw
2
it
as well.
I literally just looked it up. Whatever. Maybe it isn't, but whatever. It doesn't matter at this point. Either way, Chris has to prove me wrong, apparently. But
I was like, there's no way.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah, that's with Will. I think the Mandrill, it's just that intimidation. They're very, very scary monkeys. They get really big. They poof up a lot, and they're very scary. They have some huge fangs, and I think you see obvious weapons are their fangs and their claws, which are huge and very evident. But their bright butts, there's definitely a target right there that I think you could take advantage of. But it's very hard to, almost impossible to get behind a man. So I think that it compares exactly to Will. And then we have the last number 1. There's only one person. I don't even know if I have to do a drum roll, but our friend Mystery CD is closing in the top. And it's Mystery CD. Mystery CD.
Who's that? Never heard of him.
I have no idea, but apparently he's the best trainer in the league. Oh. But the biggest thing I will say is depth. Oh my God, this team had so much depth. Every single Pokemon had a place and a purpose. Every single Pokemon I felt like went positive. His only 2 mons going negative are Tapu Fini and Rotom He, and both by -1. It wasn't even that big of a deal.
Yeah, so
but every single mon had impact. Nihilego had a huge impact. It was robbed of a fucking sweep. from hacks, but Chestnut had a humongous impact. We went 2-2. It did a lot. Druddigon is the only one that didn't. Druddigon and Misdreavus, but Munchlax came. It's the meme of the NC album. Munchlax did put in a few work. The few first 4 of the game, he walled the certain things that he could have. Nobody prepped for it and couldn't beat it. And then I wanted to point out Necrozma and Greninja both respectively at 12 and 16 kills. It's just been amazing. That's what he's been able to do with not even his like main offensive threats that you would think of, but Necrozma and Greninja holding up the fort as his kill leaders. Rotom Heat and Tapu Fini are the only ones doing negative, but holding good defensive ground, pivoting when they need to, getting into the mons that they need to get into, burning what they need to. You know what I mean? It's just exactly what they need to do. And then Mega Mala and Lando T have been really quiet. You haven't really thought of them, but both of each which have 6 and 7 kills. But which with 16 and 12 on the other side is amazing that they got that many kills. It's just been overall just a consistent, amazing season for Mystery. The biggest thing I have going into playoffs for him is that he's lost against me and he's lost against Will, some of the top tier contenders in the playoffs, and it's just like, can he keep up against these top tier competition? I think he can. Personally, this team is the one to do it. But it's just overall his season has been really cool. Really good at setting up those hazards to weaken things. Very amazingly good at pivoting. Very good at reading and getting his mons into situations that he needs them to be in, and not putting them ever into a situation where they're feeling uncomfortable or they can't do what they need to do. He's been very great at that, and I'm excited to see he's going against Buxton, which can shake the whole thing up. So it's a little sucky that we're doing this before that because we have to do it before, but it shows just like how consistent Mystery's been, like Will. But big thing is that bottom roster depth. He's used every Pokemon on this roster to the best of its ability. Of course, not Druddigon Misdreavus, but every like it's just a lot of mons that he's best of his. And yeah, that's not a whole lot to say with a season this well.
I also have a little excerpt from our good man Will. Okay. I asked him which mons would be considered being a defensive mon MVP for the season. And he came up with something really well, and it's on the Steam. It is actually Rotom Heat. He says that the Heat was it used its bulk to switch into mons that walled and overpowered them 1v1, overpowering them 1v1, and then it just resetting itself with volts, which was.
I think I can add to that. I think Mystery's done a really good job being balanced this season. As funny as that is, his bulk was balanced. He had good defensive mons. I guess, but I think he played very best. But things I want to see Mystery do next season. I want to see Mystery. I'm not sure. Mystery's done a little bit of everything, so I'm not exactly sure on this one. I want to see Mystery not draft Lando T. That's what I want to see for once in his life. Lando T is like every single team. I've seen this mon so many times. It's like my Weavile, but he loves his Lando T.
More mons you think that are bad, like, because you might have the same experience as you did with Chestnut, because I remember hearing
Chris will always bring this up because I always brought it up to him, so this is like merged into Chris's mind.
I remember James and Mystery talking about building a team for the season with him, and then Mystery just hating on Chestnut, and James was like, well, it fits perfectly on your team, and he dreaded putting it on his team. And this man threw it on his team, and now he's saying that he loves this mon so much, it's doing so well.
Yep, and I guess that is the big thing I do. I think Chris brings that up, and I'm really excited he said that, because I want to see Mystery pick a little bit of mid-tiers. I don't think Mystery hates his mid-tiers, but I think Mystery kind of strays away from his value, because I think Mystery he loves his low-tier mons, like Munchlax and stuff like that he loves, and he loves his high tiers. He loves, like, his Mega Mawwows, his Lando T's, his Greninjas, his Rotom Heats, and I'm going to say that Rotom Heat is a little bit high mid-tier, but, like, and then Greninja's definitely high mid-tier, But those, I want you to try and start finding value at those middle of the road mons from anywhere from 8 points to 11 points. That kind of area. There's a lot of mons that you might think, oh, it doesn't hit hard enough. Oh, it doesn't do this. Oh, it just doesn't do enough. Well, that's why we play a 6 Pokemon game, is so you can get those mons in. And if I think you've been doing so well, like pivoting and weakening things just like Will, and doing the right moves and reading the right things, maybe a little more aggressive than Will. But I think if you get mid-tier mons in there, that you could do really well with them. And I'm gonna name a couple off here that he's gonna hate, but probably. But I'd like to see him use at some point. He might not even hate them. But big one that I know that he loves is Porygon Z. Is a cool offensive mon. I don't think that he should draft it, but these are things that I'm saying that he's used really well. But things that he might like. Drapion, I think he could like a lot. Aerodactyl / Mesprit. Mesprit's a little bit better than Aerodactyl, but Aerodactyl's a really cool mon that I think I like. He had Noivern on for a while, but he didn't use it. And then, of course, I have to say this one. He's gonna hate me for it, but Swallow! Swallow has to be used. But mons like that, maybe mons that you don't think just hit hard enough. Swallow is a cool mon I like. I don't think it fits on every team, but if it fits, it fits. You know, if you have an extra slot, put it on there. But I've already seen he's already starting to come up with some draft plans and stuff himself. I know of that, and I'm actually seeing him do what we're saying right now. So I'm excited to see what he can do with some mid tier spoil. I love Crobat too. I love Crobat. So everybody knows, Crobat's a great mon, and I think it's snipe it from who? Who wants it?
Exactly. Me? Who wants it? Who wants it? Just snipe it. Take it anyway. Yoink.
$19 Crobat card. Who wants it?
Well, $19 Crobat card.
That's gonna finish up our power. Actually, I'm so dumb. We haven't had Mystery's monkey reveal.
Which monkey are you? I'm pretty sure I remember this one. And you, my good friend, are the Silverback Gorilla.
Yes, sir. The big honcho. Everybody wants to be at the top, and only one monkey can be at the top. And while maybe the Silverback Gorilla, it is the most known, like, ape/monkey. Like, whenever you think of monkey or anything like that, you think of either chimpanzee or you think of gorilla. But that is the first one that goes to everybody's head, is the big buff gorilla. And I think that's what Mystery's put on. He's put on a show for us. He's been the star of the NCL this year, being the Las Vegas Cinderace, the show. He's like put on that whole persona. He's been that main event. He's been that main event every single week. Everybody's like, oh, the mystery game. Oh, the mystery game. He's been that big buff gorilla, and he stood his ground. He's been the alpha male. So let's see. Can he be taken down? Will his troop, will his pack be taken down? We'll see, but I definitely think he exemplifies that of the Silverback gorilla. Very territorial, very aggressive sometimes when maybe they shouldn't be. But I think the Silverback gorilla really, really exemplifies Mystery. That big, powerful Primeape. That ape. He should be a Primeape. He should draft Primeape. That's a mid-tier mon. He should get Primeape. When are we getting the monkey team, Chris? Woo! But yeah, so I think going in, we have some really cool stuff, and that is going to conclude me and Chris's power rankings. I hope you guys enjoyed this video format. Some cool editing for you guys, and hope you guys enjoyed. So we'll catch you guys like usual.
Wait a minute. This portion right here, this concludes the power ranking section. This does not conclude what is coming up next, which.
That is true. We're
going to have some guests on, which you guys will see hopefully have later.
So we'll catch you guys, me and Chris at least, we'll catch you guys on the flip side. And see you maybe later down the road in this video. So see y'all later. Bye.
Welcome everyone to the Defensive Player of the Year selection in NCL Season 2. My name is Mystery, co-owner, mod, and resident ship hoster of the NCL. Without further ado, the pick is in. Your Defensive Player of the Year is Don Fan, coached by Chris and the Amsterdam Altarias. Congratulations to Chris.
What's up, guys? It's Slink here, coach of the Los Angeles Lip Honeys, and I am here to announce the offensive MVP. The offensive MVP is somebody who has been there for every game of the season and has put in so much work for the team. and I personally have been on the receiving end of this. The offensive MVP for this season is going to be Buxton Zapdos.